Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today we're going for something quite unusual. I'm really excited about this. You'll think I'm sad, I know you will, but what I've bought is a 30-year-old Nissan Micra. But it gets better, trust me. This has had one lady owner from new, and it's only done 12,000 miles. 12,000 miles in 30 years. Such a rare find, this. When I got offered this the other day, I honestly thought I'd misheard. And then when I told a few people about it, they didn't seem to share my enthusiasm. Weird that, isn't it? I'll tell you what I paid for it in a second, but I didn't really know how to value it. I mean, how can you put a price on something like this? I had a quick look on Auto Trader, but there's nothing out there like it, so I had nothing to compare it to. Now, I agreed to buy it for £1,500, which you might think sounds like an awful lot of money for a 30-year-old K11 Micra, but one owner, 12,000 miles, I thought £1,500 was quite a fair price, really. In hindsight, I might have paid too much for it, but I didn't really want to miss the opportunity. When I was a kid, my grandparents had a Micra, although theirs wasn't the K11, it was the early model, it was the K10. In fact, thinking about it, it wasn't even a Micra, it was a March. It's exactly the same, but it was just badged as a March. Anyway, that's completely irrelevant, but this is the K11. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the K11 started in 1994. So this is a very early example. It's a 1.3 litre petrol, it's automatic, and it has a sunroof. As if that isn't exciting enough for you, it's also finished in metallic cherry red. Very flattering. Now, before I agreed to buy this car, I did a thorough vehicle history check, and I always use a company called Car Vertical. It's really easy to use. All you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the reg or the VIN. Now, in this case, the reg is Charlie Echo Yankee 905. And as you can see, it never been stolen, never been written off, never had a mileage rollback, and there was no outstanding finance on it, obviously. But still, for the cost of it, it's definitely worth checking out first before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike even. It doesn't take that long, and you can save yourself 20% off each and every report that you do if you use my promo code HIGHPEAK. That's HIGHPEAK, all one word, HIGHPEAK, and you'll save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do. As you can see here on this one, if you scroll down to the MOT history, it's just very genuine. It's just done nothing really, has it? A few hundred miles a year, that's it. So yeah, make sure you check out Car Vertical before you hand over any cash for a used car or bike. There are so many lemons out there, I'd hate to see you get stitched up with one of them. And it isn't just a UK thing, it works in 35 different countries. I'll leave the link below in the video description, but yeah, don't forget that promo code HIGHPEAK for 20% off. Anyway, let's go and check out this 30-year-old Micra, shall we? I dropped it off earlier this morning for a mini valet at my local car wash, so it should be ready to collect. I'll see you there. There it is, look, there she is. I'm excited, are you? Well, there's my ML as well. They're all here. I think I'll leave this for a wash and dry. Doesn't really need a mini valet. We're going to show you around this Micra then. I can't be the only one excited, surely. 12,453 miles this car's done. We've got a full tank of fuel. My seat's a bit damp actually, which is worrying. Hope the previous owner wasn't incontinent. We've got a flat battery here. Hold on, there we go. Be a loose connection on the starter perhaps. Yeah, no warning lights on. It smells exactly as you'd expect. It smells, well, it stinks of the 90s. We've got a huge gear lever here, proper like typical Japanese 90s auto gear selector. We've got cigarette lighter, ashtray, no air conditioning, but we have a sunroof, which is manual. Look at this. Oh yes. Create a through draft, shall we? I quite like this, in a funny sort of way. Now it's an LX. I don't really know what an LX got, but it didn't get electric windows, it got manual ones. Unless I'm gonna have arms like Popeye. We've got a, some sort of, I don't know what you call it, I don't know what the polite way to describe it, there's some sort of like disability handle thing on the steering wheel. Oh, we've got no power steering. Yep. I will have arms like Popeye, won't I? It makes getting out of a tight spot like this a long, drawn-out affair. Oh, God. There we go. Oh, in fact... There we go. Is this how you use these? I'm not really sure. It gets a bit lighter as you start moving. Are you ready for this? You ready to feel the power? I don't know what horsepower we're dealing with here, but I suspect 50 odd, 60? It is the 1.3, not the 1.1, so, oh yeah. She roars. It's a very, very honest little thing, this. Quite like it. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, to be fair. That's never an issue though, is it? Straight away I'm thinking I could just keep this, but then when I'm ever going to run around in a metallic cherry red K11 Micra, it's never going to happen, is it? It's amazing how small it feels. You realise how thin the doors are. Cars have just got so bloated over the years. I know that's because they're safer and everything else, but this really makes you realise how small they once were. This is a 1994 car. I don't even know what was going on in 1994. I don't know. I might remove this little handle because I don't really like it, and unfortunately it will leave a horrible indentation on the steering wheel. It drives alright though. Quite like this. Many years ago, a mate of mine in Spain had one of these. Just bought it as a cheap runaround. That was auto as well, and I used it myself a few times. In fact, thinking about it, yeah, that didn't have aircon or power steering either, so it got rather warm. That was an, I know you're not interested, but I'll tell you anyway. That was an N-Reg. It was an English car in Spain. November, so 95, 96. So a couple of years newer than this. It drives very well though. Quite impressed. The interior's nice and clean. As I say, it does smell. It reeks of 90s. I noticed when I was walking around it then there were a few areas of body damage. Not damage so much, but lack appeal. Not lack of appeal, by the way. It's got appeal in bucket loads, hasn't it, this? But no, the clear coat's peeling off, so I might get that painted. I might just try and make this as mint as I possibly can. And then, I don't know, advertise it for a silly price. My attention grabber can be, find another, can't it? Typical car dealer nonsense. But in all seriousness, you can't really find another. We've got a Sony CD player. I honestly don't know how it's possible to have a car for 30 years. 30 years with the same car in your driveway. And not only that, 12,000 miles in 30 years. How's that even possible? I do really like 90s cars, just something about them. They're just built well and there's no silly electronics. They're not overly complicated. Everything's just nice and straightforward. Apart from the glove compartment. Oh, we've got loads of history as well. Loads of it. Looking forward to reading through that. I'll tell you what then, let me find a little lay-by somewhere and I'll give you a full tour. Bet you're excited, aren't you? Oh, we're steaming up a little bit here. Steamy windows. Oh, slightly grinding brake pads or discs, or both. In fact, I think that was an advisory item on the last MOT, so I might have to get that done. Oh yeah. The heater fan's just kicked out a load of leaves and debris. This even feels quite pokey up hills. I suspect that's just because this weighs, I don't know, less than a ton or something. Feels quite nippy, really. Who'd have thought it? Right, well, here'll do then. Nice smooth drive, that. Who's excited for this little tour, then? I don't even know where to start. May as well start outside then, I think, hadn't we? Yeah, you see how thin those doors are? Right. There she is then. So we've got non-colour-coded bumpers. We've got original wheel trims. They could do with a lick of paint, actually. We've got triangle tyres. A couple of little dents here, but they'll pop out. That's no problem. A couple of little marks here, but I think they'll buff out or touch in. It's a 16 valve. So all four tyres are brand new. The previous owner told me that he replaced those recently. We need to get these cable ties off because I don't like to see cable tied on wheel trims. I just think it looks a bit, don't know, gives me the creeps a bit. Move around the back, it's all very tidy really. The original supplying dealer was Chapel House Nissan, which is now the Tesla garage in Stockport. 1.3 LX. Let's have a look in the boot then, shall we? We've even got, right, those boot struts. I don't have complete confidence in them. Someone's having a relaxing little break up here. I can smell marijuana. Anyway. Yeah, I need to fix this parcel shelf then, because that's not quite right. They've put a load liner in it, which is nice. Nice and clean. Oh no. Is it like you're for rust? Oh, there isn't any. No rust at all. That's mint, actually. Who'd have thought it? I don't know why someone's fitted these speakers in the parcel shelf. mean, this is the kind of car that I think's been owned by somebody, you know, advanced in years. I can't imagine them fitting speakers to the rear parcel shelf. This is what I was saying about the clear coat, the lacquer peel. So it starts to peel here and on the tailgate, or not tailgate, boot lid, should I say, and up top, and on the roof. I don't know. I don't feel like, I don't know. Do I paint the whole, well, not the whole car, but do I paint that? Obviously then we'd paint this as well. I think it needs doing, doesn't it? Paint all that then, and then there. That would make it look a lot more presentable, wouldn't it? The doors are in decent condition, so that's all good. We've got 2 more triangle tyres around this side. It's very tidy actually, so I think I'll do that. I think I'll paint that area, do the dents on that wing. We've got a really tidy example. No central locking. How do you get in the back then? Right, see what we do. It's all very clean. I mean, look at this, you don't even get rear headrests. You've got a lap belt in the middle. It is very clean though, and there's no rust. There's no rust anywhere, it's quite remarkable. You'd think an old Japanese car like this would be as rotten as a pear, and it just isn't. Around this side, again, there's no rust on the sills or anything. Are you guys as excited as I am with this or not? Is it just me? Oh, excuse me. I might throw these old mats away. Look at that. Look how clean the carpet is underneath. So, under my camera bag there are loads of receipts and previous MOTs, all sorts of stuff. I think I'll treat it to some new reg plates. Get the paintwork done. It doesn't need a service or MOT because they were done recently. That's it really, just a little bit of paintwork. Just needs a little bit of fettling really, doesn't it? That's exactly the same as the Nissan 100NX. So you've got a push there to open the fuel door, a pull for the boot release. In fact, there are quite a few similarities here with the NX. Quite a few shared parts. Close that. Give that a clean, can't we? Yeah, I like it. I like it very much. I swear there aren't many people that get excited about stuff like this, but I am one of them anyway. Right, leave this with me then. I'm going to take this down to my painter, ask him to paint those panels on the passenger side. I'll order some new reg plates for it. I might get the brake pads done. They were advised in the last MOT. I think that's about it. Then I can send it to Tameside Detailing for a full valet. We've got a pretty good car there, haven't we? God knows what I'm going to do with it, but I'll have an update for you very soon. Cheers, guys. And we're back in my 30-year-old Nissan Micra, but honestly, you'd never tell. Looks like a new car. I know it was tidy to begin with, you know, it's a one-owner car with only 12,500 miles on the clock, but now it really does look like it's just left the factory. I'm not entirely sure who's going to buy this car, I can't lie, but I'm really pleased with the outcome. After we last spoke, I took this down to my mechanic. Now bear in mind it had already had a service, an MOT and 4 fresh tyres, but on its last MOT there was an advisory item for brakes, so I've since had those done. From there, what else did it have? Oh, it had a heater resistor because it would only work on position 4, I think, so that's been replaced. Then from there, it went down to Jimmy the Magician, and he's worked his magic on this. He's painted whatever it needed. He's also painted the wheel trim so they look like new. He's painted the roof because there was lacquer peel there. He's also spent ages detailing the whole car. So he's painted, for example, around the wheel arches. It just looks really bright and really tidy. In between all this, I found a new parcel shelf from eBay. So when that arrived, I popped that in myself. I'm very talented like that, you see. And then that was about it. All that was left to do was give it a good clean. So I took it down to the lads at Tameside Detailing for a full, well, it didn't really need an exterior clean because Jimmy had done that already, but it's had a full interior clean and an engine bay detail. I'm really pleased with this. All right, it might not be the most exciting car on the road, but I'm happy with it. Oh, I forgot to tell you as well, I took the reg plate which came with it, I took that off and stuck it on one of the work vehicles, which meant that this went back onto its original M plate. I spoke to Nick at Retro Plates, who for £50 made me some proper, authentic Chapel House Nissan Stockport plates. Just like this car would have had when it left Chapel House Nissan all those years ago. 30 years ago to be precise. I got it back to work this morning and took some photographs of it, and I've decided to advertise this car for, you ready for this? Promise you won't laugh. Promise. £3,995. And I've already had an inquiry on it. Already. If you look on Auto Trader, there's just nothing else out there like it. And I have spent quite a bit on it. So it might not actually net me the big hoofing profit you're expecting. But what we'll do now is pull over somewhere scenic, and I'll talk you through my costs. Someone's in my lay-by. Anyone would think this lay-by's open to the public. Right. Let me get my calculator out then. Just crack the window here. Greater through draft. I paid £1,500 for the car. I paid £50 for the number plates. My bill at my mechanics, hang on a second, just bear with me. So front brake discs and front brake pads, they were £34 and £20 respectively, plus some labour. So that was £124.80. 124 and 80 pence. Let me try and find the bill from Jimmy the painter. Hang on a second. Ah, right, okay. Remove flaking paint, near side rear quarter. Reprime, full paint, repaint and blend. Remove flaking paint and repaint tailgate. I didn't realise it had that. Remove flaking paint from roof and repaint. Paint wheel trims, buff, polish, wax and detail full vehicle. My total bill there was £690. So we'll add £690 to that. The parcel shelf cost me, hang on a second, let me go into my eBay account. The parcel shelf cost me £58. And the detail at Tameside cost me £70. That means this car currently owes me about £2,500, £2,492 and 80 pence. So if I can get £3,995 for it, which I think I probably will, you know, perhaps not immediately, but who knows, this one inquiry might come good, then it'll leave me with a profit of £1,500, which I'm over the moon with. And like I say, I've kind of rescued this car that was obviously overlooked by most people. I believe the previous owner of this car offered it to his grandchildren, and they declined. So, yeah, that's about it, really. Their loss is hopefully my gain. So, that's it, guys. Thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. And yeah, I'll see you on the next adventure. Cheers, guys.